morning, family. Welcome to Vision for Change. I'm your host, John Stephenson, and it's an honor and a blessing to be able to come into your homes. We love you all so very much. Our calling number is 240-638-5430. And today I've got a very special treat for you today. For those listening, we have in the studio the one and only, the world-renowned Dr. Willie Jolley and his beautiful wife, Dee. Say good morning,
Pastor. Good morning. I got my bride with me, and she is off the train.
Yes,
I told people I would throw broken glass to get to that woman. And I told her one day, I said, if you leave me, I'm coming with you. So we've been married for going on 33 years, and we actually have not had an argument in over 30 years.
Man, and we're going to get into some good things today, family. This month I told you all we're going to talk about just refocusing on your visions and your goals and all that. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to lay a foundation scripturally. We're going to change the format a little bit just today. But my man DJ Soul is still down with me. DJ Soul 73. You can find him on Praise 104.1. He's getting ready to do the midday mix, so you don't want to miss that. So DJ Soul 73, Praise 104.1. But you can find him on all the social media outlets. Let me read you a couple scriptures. What we're going to talk about today with the Jolleys, it's going to be good. They've got a new book out. We'll get into it momentarily. But we're going to talk about relationships. And so, we were talking about this month about how to refocus. Folks will set New Year's resolutions and they'll say, here's what we're going to do. Yep. Then we get around March, April, and folks are kind of off. Yeah. So if you said, okay, you know what? I want a better marriage. I want to do this the right way. I want to do what God wants me to do in my marriage. But then, situations come up, circumstances come up. We got an enemy out there. So things will happen, and then the things you said you were going to do, you were off. Remember, ladies, in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 through 40, the Pharisees were tempting Jesus. And they were saying, okay, you know what? What's the greatest commandment in the law? He says, well, it's easy. To love the Lord your God, all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. He said that is the first and the greatest commandment. Then he said the second is like unto, that you got to love your neighbor like you love yourself. Now that's where the problem comes in, because if you don't have proper love for self, it's hard to love somebody else.
Yes.
But then Jesus was smart, because when he told the disciples in John 13, he said, listen, I must set a new standard. Not that I'm getting rid of the old one. Because, I've had people who tell me that they love me, but they love me like they want to be loved. And I might not want to get loved like that. Somebody, okay, well, why did you leave me, man? I was only 2 minutes late. Well, you was 2 minutes late. But listen, if I was late, I expect you to leave me. Well, don't love me like that.
Right.
So now Jesus changed the bar in John chapter 13. He says, listen, you love everybody like I have loved you. Right. That is a different standard.
Right.
And so today we're going to get into that, how to love. And you all have a new book. So just a foundation for who Dr. Jolley is. He is a world-renowned speaker, author, radio host. For those who don't know, if we've been living under a rock, right? We don't know who Dr. Jolley is.
I'm just a little ADD, all right?
Very ADD.
He got his beautiful wife, Dee, and she's the Chief Operating Officer of Willie Jolley Worldwide. So, family, welcome to Vision for Change.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure and a privilege, and I want to thank Sean Perry, also with the Senior Zone, for people who watch it on Facebook and people who are listening who don't know Sean. Sean is probably the reason we are all connected here, because Sean was your mentor, and Sean's been my friend. And also, you were so kind to share a story how some years ago you contacted me in my office. You had read my book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life, and you said that book had a profound impact on your thinking. And so I was just honored that when you called and said, I have a new radio show, and I'd really like you and your wife to come and be a part of our show. And I said, I'm honored to be here. So thank you, John, for having us.
Oh, it's definitely an honor. And it's my first time getting a chance. I've met you in the studio before, but it's an honor to have you here,
Thank
Dee.
you so much.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick.
Yes.
Well, WYCB, we've got history with WYCB. I know people need to know that. One is that I did the original jingle for WYCB, 1340 AM, WYCB, when it was just launching. And then when my wife and I started dating 37 years ago, 37 years ago, she worked for WYCB.
As a salesperson. It was a hot minute, but
Yeah,
yes.
so
It only takes a minute to change your life, right?
that's right.
I do it.
So you talk about setting goals. I set a goal to get her to say yes. She said no for a long time. She wouldn't marry me, but I finally convinced her to say yes, and it's been great, and I'm grateful. So let's talk about how we help some people who are listening to improve their relationships.
Yeah.
Because many people are operating in an old paradigm for relationships. One, that the husband is dominant and has to rule everything, or maybe that there's some that everybody has this set pattern for doing things. And a lot of marriages, as a result of that, are breaking up. 50% of marriages we know in America end in divorce. And then statistics show of the 50% that remain, 40% of those people are miserable.
So what does that mean? That means that they don't want to go home at the end of their workday. So maybe they go out for a drink, hang out with some friends, anything,
Right.
not to go home
Right.
because they're not happy.
So we want to get people happy. As I said, we've been married for a long time, and we have a great friendship, a great
Now,
marriage.
we
But
didn't
those-
start out
Ooh,
that way.
those
It's
couple-
a big
first couple
challenge.
years.
And sometimes people think, okay, it's been perfect all along.
Oh,
But that's
no.
not the case.
Oh no! Those first couple of years were like World War III, and we almost broke up one night over Chinese food.
But it really wasn't the food, it's what the Chinese food represented in our
Yes.
relationship. And we need to say the power of communication.
Yeah. So 3 big boulders: sex, money, and communication are things that break up marriages. And of them, the most important is communication, because communication weaves its way through every part of your marriage,
That's
every
the
part of your
common
relationship.
thread.
And if you don't have a communication, if you don't have a system, if you're not open and honest, and what we call our 4 F's for great communication: be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a positive result. Those 4 F's have a profound impact on your relationship, not just your marriage relationship, your business relationships,
Right.
your community relationships. It's about being friendly, frank, fair, and focused on a positive result. So we are
I
very
think
grateful.
when we talk about communication, it's important to know that we're not just saying talking. It is listening,
Right.
and it is how you respond. Often it's not the words we say, it is how we use or say those words that cause major disagreements.
You know, I've done a lot of marriage counseling over the years in ministry, and sometimes people think listening is just waiting
No.
your turn. Like,
Hey, there you go.
Exactly.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah, right.
Well, first off, you said this. and then second you said
Right. Steve, what do you say about it? Because you say that many times people just holding back to wait till their turn so they can jump in. They're not really listening.
Almost like double dutch.
Right. That's a good double dutch.
To tell you what they're thinking. They're not really listening, so they can then question to say, were you saying A, B, C, D? Is that my understanding? Is that what you were saying? They're not doing that. They're just holding it, waiting to get whatever they want out.
Right.
So we say you got to listen, you got to communicate, and then you've got to be open to listen to their truth. Okay.
That's good.
And you can't disrespect their truth.
Okay. So you're a gentleman. You grew up in the city, I assume.
Yeah, New York City. You came here. Or,
Oh,
All right, okay. So if you're in the city, you understand this analogy. Anybody who grew up in the city played street basketball. And in street basketball, you're on the court, and let's say you're guarding me, and I go up for a shot, and I miss the shot, and I call foul. Okay, now you didn't touch me.
Right.
But what do you have to do at that moment?
I give it to you.
You have to respect it, right?
Yeah.
You got to respect the call, right? It's just it's known. Wherever you play street basketball, you might not agree with what that call was, but you have to respect it. Same in a relationship. That somebody says my feelings were hurt. You cannot say your feelings ain't hurt. You have to respect the call and listen to say, why do your feelings hurt? Oh, okay.
The questioning becomes very important to make sure that you get clarity as to what the other person is thinking and feeling.
That's good.
Next thing we talk about in that communication chapter is how important it is not to stamp collect. Now, stamp collecting is a big deal. Now, you over 30, I assume.
Yeah, you.
A little bit. Anybody over 30 would get this. When we were growing up, there was a thing called S&H green stamps. Now, S&H green stamps, your parents went to a grocery store and they bought the groceries, and the reward that they got for being loyal to that store was some stamps. They take those stamps, they put them in a book, and that book builds up until it is full. Then you take it to a redemption center. You get a television or a toaster or a iron, whatever it is, or AM, FM radio. Well, that was after it built up. Well, here's what happened in stamp collecting in relationships. People, their feelings are hurt, or they have a concern, but they don't talk about it. They let it build up and build up and build up and build up until it gets up to the top and they explode like a volcano. And all of this stuff for months and months and months.
Says, why are you so upset?
Where did that come from? What's that all about? And so that is when the S&H green stamp concept of stamp collecting takes over in a negative perspective. Rather than saying when your feelings are hurt in that day, you say, hey, my feelings are hurt. And we tell people it's critically important to fix your problem before you go to bed. The Bible says don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yes.
And that's great wisdom from biblical principles. Don't let it go down. Fix it that night. Don't be talking about, oh, you got to sleep on the couch, or you can't come home. No, fix it and move on.
Yeah, and how to fix it, I think, is important as well.
Well, we talk about it.
You know, one of the things that you mentioned about the raising up and holding on to things. Sometimes people put things on the shelf.
That's right. Same difference.
So I'm gonna hold on to this. And you know what? I'm not gonna say that right now, but I'm gonna put up there.
That's when they do muckraking. So that's stamp collecting and muckraking. I'm gonna pull this thing back from 20 years ago when my feelings were hurt or you did something.
But it still all comes down to almost forcing yourself to talk and communicate when it's uncomfortable. And that is something that I had to learn. I'm a preacher's kid. And so there are a lot of things that go on and that people say and the like, and you just have, and you just kind of go on with it because it's inappropriate to say, you're crazy or you whatever. You don't do that when you're a preacher's kid.
Right.
But then when you get married or you now have a best friend, that's another thing, which is also your mate, you have to learn how to speak of this is how it makes me feel. Or this is what I'm thinking. And I actually had to work on that. Also because I'm an introvert married to an extrovert. So he's
an extrovert?
So let me give everybody a blessing. We want to give everybody a gift. We want to give you a chapter. One of the biggest chapters in the book is free.
You know what? We need to talk. We didn't tell you all the book is. It's called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
Yes.
10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage.
There you go. Make love, make money, make it last. So go to JolleyMarriage.com and get
Jolley with an E.
Jolley
Yes.
marriage, and get the free chapter on how to disagree without being disagreeable. One of the most profound chapters. Talked about the whole Chinese food episode, what happened, what we learned from it, how we were able to use that to grow a great marriage, that experience, and then the lessons we learned from mentors about how to disagree without being. That's my gift to everybody. Our goal in this marriage, John, is to save 1 million marriages.
Nice.
And then to enhance 1 million more. And you know this because you're in ministry. Please tell me right away your church.
Well, I'm a church administrator, assistant pastor of Victory Christian Church International in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
All right. And then where do people connect with you for some of your messages and so forth?
Oh, jsmonline.org.
JSMonline.org. And they get you.
Or iloveIgiveIserve.com.
All right. They get your messages there?
You can get some messages, you get my YouTube, all of that good stuff.
Because you got some good stuff that they need to be having. And they can get it free?
Yeah, they can get it free. Go to
free?
YouTube.
F-R-E?
Yes, you can.
I like F-R-E. JSMonline.org. See, folks, I'm in radio, so I always want to give them.
I love it.
All right, so look, JolleyMarriage.com. Go get the free chapter. And then if you buy the book, many people ought to want to buy the book. I'm telling you right now. We recommend you get 2 copies. One for each person in the relationship so that you can grow together. If you want to be on the same page, you need to be reading from the same book at the same time so you can be on the same page. So that's what we want you to do, and we want you to grow your success. And that is why we're excited about the book. The book is blowing up. We got a call from Kuwait who said they had heard about it and wanted copies.
The interesting thing about our book is that we're co-authors, but it's written from two different perspectives. So you have each chapter, like the first chapter that we didn't even mention, friends first.
Friends first.
That's a problem in many marriages.
And
They're not friends.
Right, and in covenant, we preach that a lot about covenant.
Yes.
Because it's one strength offsetting another's weakness.
Yes.
And how to honor the fact that you just don't know everything. And
Yes.
That's right.
How do you all deal with that? Because I know there are certain strengths she has.
Well, I've learned one of the things is a wise mate understands that their significant other is a trusted advisor. Okay, trusted advisor. That's in the chapter about rolling down the window about marriage. How to break a stalemate. Okay, how to break a stalemate. But like we were at Bishop Marvin Winans' church last weekend out in Detroit, Perfecting Church, and yesterday we were at First Baptist Church of Highland Park and had a great time. People bought books like crazy, more than we even anticipated. We had to go back home between services and get more books. But here's what we want people to know: you can't get the book on Amazon, and you can because we only give it because we want to be able to get a great deal for people. But we talk about that whole concept about finding your gifts between the two of you and how that helps you to grow your dreams together. And while we talk about you got to have dreams together. I am I'm an extrovert. She's an introvert. This is not easy for her to be on the radio and television to do these things. That is not easy. And second is I'm a big thinker, big picture. She's the detail person.
But we honor each other's strengths.
Right.
I think that's important. And I was sharing with an individual. We have so many people who once they read the book or they send in questions or they ask us questions. And I was trying to explain to this young lady yesterday that you're not in competition with your mate.
Say that again. That's so true.
You're not in competition with your mate. You complement each other. His success is my success, and my success is his success. What I am discovering for those of us who've married later in life, and let's say the female has been the own house, the own car, I made the money, I cooked it up in the pan, did all the other kind of stuff, and now I have a mate and I don't know quite how to deal with it, and I'm finding myself being competitive. And I'm saying you have to talk about that, and then you have to change how you see this relationship. You are now better. You were complete and great in and of yourself. I was complete in and of myself, but I'm better with Willie.
Yeah, and two are better than one. The Bible talks about that.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
There are things.
But bringing it down to every day, this is how you do it, is a problem. People need to talk about that. That's a problem. Well, he said this, and I said, let's go back to why did you get married to begin with?
There was something
And that you are supporting each other. And that, again, how you talk through the situations are very important.
Yeah.
I have when I have people in my office and we're talking marriage, they talk over one another.
Yeah.
Everybody's upset.
Yes.
So I have a little piece of carpet that I had cut out, and I said, okay, this is the floor. Whoever has the floor gets to talk. And I said, you can implement this in your relationships because sometimes we're so upset. We're trying to talk. Nobody's hearing.
Right.
Nobody's trying to listen and process. But if love is the foundation, because I love you, then I want to understand you.
Yes.
And I know when life happens, you did some things that hurt me. I might have said some things, and so we don't think we know. But love is the foundation. We can always fall back on that.
And we always ask this question. We tell people to ask the question: what's more important, this problem or your marriage? What's more important? Is the problem bigger than your marriage? Because if the problem bigger than your marriage, you got a really big problem, okay? But if the marriage is the most important thing, then I'm willing to work through it. One of the things we're going to do, because we've had so many, she just mentioned, people are sending us questions on on that Jolley Marriage. We got lots of questions from all over the world, and we're going to start answering them every week on a new online show we're going to do. That's going to be a Jolley Marriage show that people can access, and then we're going to have some seminars. Because so many people, we're going to have one, I think, of the last Saturday of this month here in the Washington area.
Okay.
So if you're interested, just contact our office by email or call at info@williejolly.com, info@williejolly.com. And if you want to call, you can call 202-723-8863, 202-723-8863 to get more information about our seminar coming up the 31st, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I was going to ask that question towards the end. If somebody's listening and I need me and my husband to talk to you all. I know the
Right.
seminars are the best way. Do
Yeah.
you all do individual?
No, we don't do.
coaching?
We're gonna send that to you. We're gonna
Okay.
send that to you. All right?
Yeah.
We don't do individual because we're not marriage counselors. No, we're not marriage
I think we're
counselors.
developing or falling into the category of marriage mentors.
Yeah, we're
And
marriage
we
mentors.
say
Yes.
that you need to find couples, happily married couples,
Happily married, not just
that
long
you
married.
can talk
Happily
to,
married.
you can observe, that you can learn from them.
Okay.
It
That
is.
sounds like me and my wife. Sent to me,
So,
Karen.
so we tell people, well, we get a lot of questions. Can we counsel each other? We don't do counseling because we're not marriage counselors. We're not certified. That's not what we do. But we do mentor, and that's why we're gonna have the seminars. We're gonna have a whole lot of things over the next year. Not because we had planned this. This book was not planned like it's blowing up. We were just writing a book because our son pressed us to do it because he's 32 years old. He said, "I've never seen you argue." And I tell my friends that they don't believe it. Y'all have got to write a book.
Yeah, you said in the bio, it says
Yeah.
we haven't argued.
Right, we don't argue. We just talk. But those first couple of years, but once we got mentors who taught us how not to argue and how to get new systems that worked. To disagree, we don't always agree, but we do it without hollering, screaming, arguing, having drama, and it's so much nicer.
And it's called the rules of engagement. That's very important. So
Yes.
we came up with that in that free chapter, the rules of engagement. What is it that raises the hair on the back of your neck? You're like, then I don't need to go there. I'm going to be respectful of that sends you over the edge. Now, what is it about me that makes me ugly?
Right.
Then you don't go there.
I
So
don't go there.
once we know what it is that upsets the other person to the point of, seeing red and
Distraction.
bull,
Yeah.
then respectfully we agree that's not how we are going to disagree.
Right. Right. What's your below the belt? And we
Right.
never go there.
Right,
And so,
right.
look, I tell people, you have a choice. We say in the book, leave the drama with your mama. Okay, leave the drama with your mama. When you were a child, you thought like a child. You acted like a child. But when you became adult, you should put away childish things.
Right.
And so we tell people you must leave, cleave, and weave. Weave a new relationship. And some people say, well, that's how my mom and them did it. We leave, cleave, and weave a new relationship. Some of the things your mom and dad did was good, but some of them might not have been good. And so you've got to find some new systems that work for your relationship, for your family. And sometimes it's blended families, all sorts of new things that are coming into to bear. Financial changes. Many people in earlier generations got married early. Now people are getting married later. So how do you handle that? So we want to again tell people, look, if you want to get a free chapter about this disagreeing, go to jolleymarriage.com. If you want to get the book, go to Jolley Marriage or call our office and get 2 copies. We give you a great deal for 2 copies, and we will sign the book and send it to you. And then finally, if you want to come to our marriage seminar that's coming up the end of the month, just call our office, 202-723-8863. And for those who are around the country, we're going to have a virtual access option too. So people who are maybe in California, still want to be there, we'll have that option too. So we're going to do that. Just call 202-723-8863 or send us an email at info@williejolly.com.
Well, family, this has been great.
John, I want to thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Willie Jolley and his wonderful, beautiful wife, Dee.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for
having
being here.
us.
This has been great. So, family, if you're on Facebook, and we'll repost this so you all can check it out. And listen, please call them. Get the book. Get the book. You want to get the book, all right? We'll be right back after this message.
Hello, this is John Stephenson from
Oh man, John Stephenson is off the chain, folks. Let me tell you, John Stephenson is off the chain, folks.
Looking over hearts, y'all love you, love you, love you.
Lots of those hearts. Look at those hearts coming over there. There you go. And for all of y'all, there's Steve, this is me, and that's John. All right, and we're grateful. Hey, have a great day, folks. God bless you.
Website, or you email me at info@jsmonline.org. If you're interested in a corporate sponsorship, come on and contact me as well. All things are possible.
one more segment?
Just with
Just
us.
a little something.
Okay.
Well, family, before I let you go, I want to thank my wonderful guest, Dr. Jolley, and his beautiful wife, Dee. Dr. Jolley, any final thoughts?
Look, I want you to live happy, be happy, grow happy, and live with excellence. And remember, make love.
Make money.
And make it last. It's worth the work that it takes. Look, everybody wants a great marriage, or they want a marriage that works. Problem is, most people are not willing to work on their marriage.
All right, now.
All right, so we're helping them work on their marriage. All right,
Yes.
so we want to thank y'all, and we want to thank you, and we're gonna come out to Victory Living to
Victory Christian Church International.
we're gonna come out there with your pastor sometime and do something with y'all. Okay?
All right, man. Be an honor.
All right, we've been going all over the country, so thank you.
All right. Well, family, go to the website, jsmonline.org or iloveIgiveIserve.com, and go partake of what we got there. You can sow into the ministry. Also, there's a donate button. Go by and help us do what we do. Remember, if you can see the vision, you can be the vision that you see. And all things are possible if you can just believe. Love you. See you next week.
Like you got 1 minute.
All right, folks, on John's Facebook page. God bless you.
Change Radio with John Stephenson.
Yo, family, this was absolutely wonderful. I'm sorry, I couldn't see the questions. You might answer questions.
Oh yeah, let me do some questions right now.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Questions?
Now, we got people who are logged on. Let's see, Friendly Frank. Let's see if there's any questions. Any questions at all?
Holy Spirit. For more information, please stop by our website.
I ain't even married yet, but I'm taking notes.
There's a chapter in the book. We should have said
Last
that.
chapter.
The
for
last
not yet
chapter is for
married.
single people who are not yet married on how to choose the right one. We forgot to talk about that. So yeah.
Okay, Matt. There you go, Matt. Go ahead. Go to that website and get that, man.
Yep.
All right. Who else we got here? Any other questions? This is great. And that's all I got right now.
All right,
okay?
great. Well,
Good morning, brother. All right.
Just go to everybody. Go to
so nice
Jolley
with the
Marriage. If you
hearts.
got questions, just send us your questions, and we're going to be sending them online. And we're going to be sharing them and answering some of the questions. We can't get to all of them, but we got a lot of questions. But we will be doing more and more. I want to thank you. Follow me on Willie.Jolley on Facebook. Willie.Jolley. The Real Willie Jolley on Instagram. And Twitter is just Willie Jolley. And just follow me. Also, listen to my Sirius XM show if you got Sirius XM channel 141. My guest this week is Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Ooh.
So that is awesome.
All right.
So it will re-air. Today is Monday, tomorrow at 6 p.m., Tuesday at 6, and Wednesday morning at 11. And then follow me on podcast on iHeartMedia. The Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast, Dynamite Joe, Colin Powell, John Maxwell, Damon John, Bob Johnson, Wally Amos, Sheila Johnson. Just great interviews that will bless you. We want to help more people have greater success in their marriage, in their private, in their personal, their professional, every which way they can. That's what we want to do. And I want to thank John. I want y'all, here's what I want all of y'all to do. One, I want you to share this link that John has created and share his information. Tell your friends about it. We want to grow his network to 2,000 people on his email. Send your email. We want 2,000 people ASAP, because that's when he starts getting critical mass and advertisers start looking at him as a way. Do you like his show today? Yes?
Yes, he
Then
did.
follow him.
Yeah.
Follow him and get an email. Tell your friends about him. Share the link, okay?
Amen. Family, we love you so very much. Now, listen, we'll have this up, and I'll share it on the John Stephenson fan page, on the ministry page, and just share it out as Dr. Jolley said. So great. Thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
mentioning that. And so we want to make sure we get the information out. We want to make sure we get his book. Please don't. If you got a marriage or you know somebody that's married, get it and give it as a gift. Information is so valuable still nowadays. All right. Love you all so very much. Remember, all things are possible if you just believe. We love you. See you next week.